Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Justin from Alto Music, and today we are talking about the new Artificial Blonde Vibrato Pedal from JHS. It's their artist signature pedal for songwriter and sort of guitar wizard Madison Cunningham. We're going to plug it in, we're going to get vibey. Maybe we'll share a couple things about each other we didn't know before, but probably not. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and get notified of video content first. You get notified first because we post it on YouTube first. It's pretty convenient for you. It's sort of like being in a cool club, but without, a ring or a cool jacket or something. Also, make sure you check out the links in the description down below. For any of the gear that's used in this video, links over to altomusic.com, and you can find that gear over there and pick it up for yourself. The long and short of the Artificial Blonde is basically Madison Cunningham on her shows and in her recordings was using this pedal, the Emperor from JHS, as her sort of always-on vibrato modulation, just kind of always moving around. And Josh Scott, in the meantime, was starting to go to some of her shows, hanging out backstage, and saw that during her shows she was having to lean down and change the settings on the fly, instead of having a preset switch. And so what happened was JHS came up with the Artificial Blonde, which effectively gives you that, their really nice, warm, modulated vibrato sound that can be dialed all the way up. But it gives you two preset channels. So you can have something that's a little more, low intensity, and then you can have something that's a little more high intensity. And it's in a really simple box. It's basically, takes the same idea of the Emperor and doubles it. So you can see on the pedal here, there's a volume knob, basically just, the volume of the pedal, self-explanatory. You have an EQ knob that lets you dial in kind of how much high end, low end, what you want the emphasis to be in the vibrato. All the way up is going to be, completely dimed, treble-y, high frequencies. Down all the way is going to give you a more low, sort of warbly. It's going to be a lower EQ. It's going to bring out a lot of those lower frequencies, barely any high end. And then you have two identical sets of knobs here, speed and depth. Speed just controls how fast the vibrato is. Depth is how intense the vibrato is. And you double it. And then you have two switches here. One's the bypass, turns on the pedal. This one just switches between the two presets. So let's plug it in and we'll see how it sounds. All right, so we have the Artificial Blonde plugged in here. We're running that into a Walrus Audio ACS1 amp and cab sim. And again, if you're interested in any of these, you can hit the links down below in the description. It'll bring you to our website. You can pick one up for yourself. So right now, this is just our clean signal here. Just using a Guild Surfliner as well. I forgot to mention that. And so without it on, it's great clean tone. Now let's turn this pedal on and we'll start dialing in something. So I'm going to bring the speed up, and we'll bring the depth up to about noon. We'll bring them both up to noon. You can hear it's got sort of like a VHS tape that's been played too many times kind of sound when they're both at noon. And then you can really dial it up to go, however you want. You can bring the depth all the way up. Now you gotta. So that's depth all the way up, speed at noon. And then let's bring the speed all the way up and we'll just get as weird as we possibly can get with this pedal. That's not really my taste, not usable for me, but I'm sure Mac DeMarco has a song with that type of sound in it. And I'm sure Madison Cunningham, who's a much better guitar player than I am, can make something out of that. But let's say you want to get, just something kind of subtle going. So we have. So it's a little subtle, still a little warbly, but then you want to switch to something that's a little more, I don't know, intense. What you do, you hit the second switch here, and now you're in. Bring the speed up just to show you. And it's easy, it's as easy as just hitting the button. So, setting 2, setting 1. setting 2, setting 1. To close out, I can't be much simpler than saying I really like this pedal. Not even just the functionality of it, but the story of it. You know, JHS kind of having the coolest situation possible. You like an artist, you listen to their records, they use your pedals, and then you get to make a modded version of it just for them. And then also offer it to other guitar players who are maybe influenced by them. And I think the JHS Artificial Blonde is a really great addition to any pedal board. You know, whether you're adding to just sort of add some light modulation or, you know, send it to the moon with something crazy and Super Mario sounding, I don't know. I think that it'll find a way onto a lot of people's pedal boards, and not just for guitars too. I mean, it sounds really great on bass, you know, on a baritone guitar. You can really get just a lot of juice out of this pedal from that. And also check out Madison Cunningham. I mean, her albums are really great. If you want like a master class in cool open tunings and sort of just free experimental guitar playing over really great vocals, I think you should check it out. But if you're interested in picking up the Artificial Blonde, or the Emperor, the ACS1 that we ran into, the Guild Surfliner I was playing, any of that stuff, you can hit the descriptions down below, and it'll bring you to our website and you can pick it up today for yourself.